love nothing. We are free. We fear nothing. We are free.
We're dealing with this idea of what makes people monsters or our villains monsters. And I think from Alpha's point of view, she's not the villain, she's the hero of her own story.
I don't view Alpha as the enemy. I knew when I got the role that Alpha was a villain, but I'm not playing her as a villain.
I love everything that Samantha has brought to the role. There's just such a quiet, eerie menace to her that is unpredictable.
There's a very spiritual way that Samantha approaches the role of Alpha. She plays it like a cult leader-like aspect.
Mama, there's a man.
And then you have Beta, who has this amazing presence.
He is a terrifying figure who's gigantic, carrying a machete.
Go on and try to kill us.
This guy seems like he's a serial killer, and she shows no fear in the face of that.
As if we're strong enough to still be alive out here. We know each other on a problem.
Ryan and myself, I do genuinely believe we've got really good chemistry as actors.
I know you better than you know yourself. You were made for this.
Alpha sees Beta almost right away as someone who could be useful to her. I can bring him into the fold and have him help me because he's obviously strong. And you see her figuring out the ways that she can connect with him.
Is he a monster?
We're all monsters now.
We see them meeting, and I think that we kind of captured them grappling with what it's like to let go of a life that they had before.
The world, it went dark so that we could see a new path.
The first time Alpha met this man, she just sensed immediately that he was just afraid. He was alone and he was vulnerable.
Walk with me in the darkness. Walk with me, and you will never be alone again.
Alpha sees the little boy in him, and why does she decide him? What's so special about him?
The end of the world.
He respects the fact that she's not afraid of him. She can fight. She also is not afraid of the dead.
So you can move with them when you're covered.
And I think it's almost like falling in love,
Might be.
but not as we know it. In a really extreme situation.
I like killing with you.
In the backstory, Alpha is saving Beta. And in the present day story, Beta is saving Alpha. And so when she destroys the shrine, those two stories are colliding in two sort of alternate universes. In the scene where Alpha sneaks into Beta's area, she sees the walker. She doesn't know that there's any significance until she kills it. No! He had kept the walker version of his dead friend.
Come with us.
I can't leave him.
You won't have to.
We thought that there's something that is particularly strange and interesting about taking the face of a friend.
It's just a really nice emotional way of showing that there was still some humanity there.
Her empowering him in that moment to cut the skin off, to wear the mask for the first time, was like, you don't need to leave him. You don't need to be alone. You can bring him with you.
That's what makes him Beta. And then you realize that that's the skin. So he's never far away from his friend.
We're going back.
Alpha doesn't mince her words. When she says something, she means what she says. So I think it's important to remember that anything could happen. Things can always flip. And that's what's exciting and brave about it.
We walk in darkness. We are free.